great website. The only thing that makes it better is the Sandbox mode. The Sandbox mode allows you to create your own voting methods, or voting examples. The Sandbox mode shows you how systems work. Over here, we have different voting methods. You can have first past the post. I added these methods. Nikki had IRV and Porta here, but I added Minimax, Schulz, ranked pairs. Nikki did have Condorcet. I've changed it a little bit so that ties would be shown. Nikki had approval and score voting, and I added star voting and 3-2-1 voting. I also have added multi-winner methods. So this is single transferable voting and range, reweighted range voting. There is also a whole set of new voting methods that are right here that were imported from Rob Legrand's voting methods website, and he has a great calculator that I was able to import his methods really easily, and you can see his style of explaining the election results over there. So there's some great methods here for ranked systems. That's what RB stands for, ranked ballot. Ranked ballot vote. Alright, so say you're looking at first past the post. You can look at a single voter. You can look at one set of voters. You can look at two groups of voters. Here you can manipulate the center of one set of voters, another set of voters, or both together. Here you have three sets of voters, and you can move around each one individually or move them all at once. There's also an unequal set of voters, so there's more in this group down here, and less here, and the smallest amount here. And you can just, let your ideas be represented here. You can also have a variable number of voters in each group. You can see that you can increase or decrease the number of voters, and you can also increase or decrease the spread of the voters. So I noticed that systems are different when there's a large spread in the voters. So that is interesting to look at. Say we're just looking at one group, to make it simple. How many candidates do you have? I only have a choice between 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably should change that in the future to add an option so that you can really create the exact election that you want to look at. Voter strategy is a big thing that I added, and Nikki didn't have this, but I added voter strategy because a lot of methods are going to behave differently when voters just think to maximize their vote, especially in score voting and approval voting, because the difference between not having a strategy is, you can see right here, all these people just don't vote. But if you do have some basic, maximizing your vote strategy, then you're gonna vote for orange and green if you're this voter. There are other strategies too, but I'll explain those later. If you have a front-runner based strategy, then you also have to poll to see who the front-runners are. You can select manually which front-runners you want, or you can automatically poll for the front-runners, in which case you'll have a polling done in several rounds of polling. So based on these results, the front-runners are known, and if you go to the next set of elections, the next week or so, whatever time span in between polls, and people change their minds based on the previous polls. Finally, the biggest part that I added to the simulation are Yi diagrams. These are very interesting. You can see that a lot of information in a Yi diagram, and I'll explain it later, but in a separate video. the Yee diagram really tells you what's happening in an election. So it's very worthwhile to check out the Yee diagram. It takes a while to load up though if you choose to have a high resolution, so beware of that. Well, that's it for this demonstration of Nikki Case's webpage. I did make some edits to it in order to make it suitable for an essay that I worked on with Jameson Quinn. He's studying voting systems, and he wrote an essay, so I helped to get the essay going with examples. Kind of got his ideas into the simulation. In particular, he was looking at this 3-2-1 voting, and so I'll show you all that in the next video. Thanks for going through all that. So we started off with Nikki Case's whole voting simulation. I gave my critiques, what I would do better, and in the next video I'll show you what I actually did better and why I think it is better. In particular, there's some strategies that I looked at, and there's also these Yee diagrams that I added.